I want to argue that, there were not a whole lot of changes in terms of legal rights and status for women as a result of the American Revolution. But there are some important shifts that I think are noteworthy for us to pay attention to here that happened during and in the wake of the war. And for those of you that have me in class for 111 and for the American Revolution, some of this is going to be familiar to you, but I think it's worthwhile to go through here. So one of the most prominent ways that women were really engaged politically during the American Revolution were especially in organizing boycotts of British goods. And in organizing what were called homespun bees, They get together and organize to make homemade clothing while they were boycotting British goods, So this is a way in which some of that domestic power was really centered towards the revolution and making, or having an effect on the revolution in whatever way women could, There is a really interesting example of a group of women in Philadelphia who are going to literally be going door to door, raising money for the Continental Army. It's a really interesting story. A woman named Esther DeBert Reed published this anonymous pamphlet justifying female patriotism, what she specifically called female patriotism, and the organizing efforts of these women, which some seem to believe were unfeminine, going door to door in public asking for money wasn't necessarily the most feminine thing to be doing. And they raised a lot of money doing this. And what they wanted to do actually was pay the Continental soldiers. And they were able to get in touch with George Washington. Reed had a connection. And he asked instead if they could use that money to buy materials for clothing and then make the clothing for the soldiers, because that's what they really, really needed. So some other gender dynamics we could unpack later.